All right, guys, this video is going to supplement what we saw in activity 3.2. This should not only give you a better idea of what is going on with the experiment that it referenced, but also I wanted to give you an extra demonstration that should help as well. So the question around the experiment is, does 5 plus 5 always equal 10? So the data that I shared with you, like I said, is from previous semesters where we took 5 milliliters of 2 different liquids and we mixed them in different combinations. Okay, so the warm-up, you saw a variation of different types of graduated cylinders, and that's what these are. These are pretty small, so it's going to be tough to show them to you on camera, but our first combination, we took 5 milliliters of water, 5 milliliters of water, we mixed them together, capped it, shook it up, and then measured it. And again, that data was supported with that document that I shared with you. Second, we took 5 milliliters of ethanol and mixed it with 5 milliliters of ethanol. Again, mix it, cap it, shake it, and then we measured. As you can see, the table's a little bit wet. There's probably some liquid being left behind in some of the graduated cylinders. There is some error that's involved, and that was represented in that data. But when we got to the combination of the water and the ethanol, we did the same thing, cap it, shake it up, measured it. We saw a much larger difference between our calculated volumes and our measured volumes, excuse me. So why does that happen? So like I said, I've got a little bit of a demonstration here. So let's say that these golf balls are going to represent our ethanol particles, right? We've been talking about the particle model. So let's just say each one of these golf balls is 5 milliliters, right? And I could pick this up and I could measure it. If I were to add 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, presumably that measurement would be double, and actually they stacked on top of each other quite nicely. All right, and I could likewise say that I've got a bunch of marbles here. Let's say that these are our water particles. So I might take them, and again, we'll call it 1 marble a milliliter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to add 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, first thing is that I can see that my marbles are much smaller than my golf balls. Okay, so what does that tell me in context of this experiment? My ethanol particles are much larger than my water particles, or my water particles are much smaller than my ethanol particles. So what's going on when I mix them together? So if I take my last beaker here, and I'm going to say I've got 5 milliliters of ethanol now. Now I am going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I can see happen is that those smaller water particles are fitting in between those larger ethanol particles, right? And I could go as far as doubling this. So now I've got all of my water and all of my ethanol, but the level here is not getting any higher, okay? So what's happening is these smaller particles are able to fit in between the spaces between these larger particles. So I hope that gives you a little bit more context for what we saw with this 5 plus 5 experiment. All right, I will see you guys later.